Okay, here you were supposed to write one color, pure something. Okay, what color did y'all write? Purple? Red? And what about you? Gray? Red. Okay. All right, so whatever color you want is fine. And we're going to write shade on the right side and tint, T-I-N-T, on the left side. So this monochromatic scale, we're only going to use the color red or whatever you wrote there. So Jocelyn, for instance, wrote purple, so she's got to make up some violet with red and blue real fast. Okay, we're going to put the pure color there, and we're going to add white this way, and we're going to add black this way. Shade is darker. Okay, so let's start there. I've got my red. I'm doing pure red. Straight out of the thing. And some of you might have already painted this one because you saw it ahead of time, like I told you to do when you saw a color that you had labeled, to go ahead and color it. So if you're already one step ahead of me, that's good. And using my good painting habits, not getting too much paint at once so it doesn't get globby. I'm pulling the brush rather than pushing it. I'm resting my hand on my paper because it's dry. That helps steady it. Smoothing out any globs I see. There we go. So I've got my pure color in the middle. I chose red. You can choose any color you want. It just has to be pure. Don't mix it with anything. Okay? So now shade gets slightly darker. Tint gets lighter. Let's go start with the light side first. So I'm going to put in some red. Valerie, try leaving the video by pushing the little things at the bottom, maybe. I know the audio is the microphone. If you have to leave the conference and come back, that's okay. Okay, so I put some red in there. I'm going to clean my brush because then I'm going to dip into this white. I don't want red contaminating it. I checked, do I have clean? Nope. It's a nice thing about white paper towels is you can tell, is it clean or not? There we go, getting closer. And no marks, that means it's clean. Okay, so I've got my white. I'm going to take a scoop of it. The white, as you've seen, has a very different texture. And I'm going to mix it up. What color is this going to make? Pink, that is right. You're good, Faith. As long as you were swimming hard, that's the only reason I'll accept tardiness. Then it's fine. All right, so I'm going to put this one next to pure red on the tint side. Tint is getting lighter. Shade, like sitting in the shade, is getting darker, if that helps you remember. Practice, practice, practice. But we're going to cheat and clean it up with Sharpie after anyway. Did you get one of the brushes that had a black handle as your medium brush? Yeah, those aren't as good. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm rinsing my brush again. Yeah, the medium brush is what you should be using. But we had different kinds. And some have sharper bristles and some have kind of wider. You might have gotten a wider one. Everyone got a medium, a small, and a large brush, but they weren't all the same brand. Okay, I'm going to add more whites to it. Here's another chunk of white, and it really is a chunk with this paint. Yay! So it's even lighter now. This is perfect for Valentine's Day. It's paint. He's asking about this. The texture of the white is so weird compared to the textures of your other paints. And at home, remember, we gave you 2 whites because we think you'll use a lot of it, and it is just thicker, so it goes quickly. Okay, I'm painting my next box. Did you notice that your paper dries lighter? Yesterday might have looked kind of bleh, and then today you're looking at it and you're like, oh, that looks pretty good. Hopefully, anyway. Everyone following along? In person, are we following along? Virtual, are we following along? That looks pretty good. Just gets gradually lighter. All right, and now to go the other way, I'm not just going to add black to this. I'm going to do a new red and then add black to it to get the shade, okay? It's not quite the same as when we could come back from the others by adding more of the color. That white kind of mutes it, so I like to start fresh to go the other way. So, pure red again. I'm going to put some in my egg carton or whatever you're using as a palette. Did anybody come up with some creative palettes at home? I'm getting ready to use black now. Okay, so I had pure red, and then I added a little bit of black to the red. and went to the right a little darker. And now I'm going to add even more black to the red with black I just made right here. Okay, so a little more black to it. And you get this really dark red. Perfect. Okay, now I'm adding it here. Okay, so there's my really dark red. Okay, I have 3 left. Black, white, and gray. How do we make gray? Black and white. So these will go fast. I'll do black first. Okay, black there. And while my brush has black on it, I'm going to go ahead and put some in here. I'm going to make gray, and I'm going to do white next. Rinsing my brush. Having a little more rinsing. Now I'm going to do white. Yeah, the texture of the white is weird. Just flatten out those bumps as best you can. You can see the white is even whiter than the paper, which you thought was white, but has some tones to it. It's like when you see a white polar bear against white snow and you suddenly realize that polar bear is kind of yellow, kind of brown. Okay, so I've got my white done, I've got my black done. My brush already has white on it. I'm going to dip it in there and make gray now without having to rinse another time. So there's my gray. And I'm done.